Hey guys, I'm back with another booster box update, so let's get started. So I'm seeing a decrease in booster box buying activity, at least for the last day, maybe the last couple of days, maybe in the last half of the month. It kind of depends on the box. It's not for every single box, but I think this is kind of expected considering today is trying to get an official release day. And a lot of attention has probably been put on that and also the Team Rocket set. Um, so let's look at that. So there were price increases and decreases, but I guess I'll look at the demand data first. So like Scarlet Violet base, you see over here, it was kind of going up in demand. You see like 11, 12, 17, and yesterday it was like 4. Today is like 3. Yeah, so that's not that surprising. And the price has dropped to 185. Paldea evolved. It's actually about the same. 9. It's definitely lower than the beginning half of the month. Beginning half of the month, there's more 20s. And in the last couple of days, it's been more like in the 10 range. Though there's a spike over here. But this spike over here is still smaller than the spike over here. So in like this second half of the month, there's been kind of decrease in sales. And the last couple of days, it's been on the low end of about like $10 a day. Stadium Flames, you do kind of see like the quantity graph does kind of go downward. I wonder if I can see that. Um, yeah, so for this half of the month, it was kind of going up to like 40 every 3 days. It's kind of going down to more like 20, 25. So you see that decrease down there. It'll have the random spikes, but yeah, the last day it's only sold 4. The day before I only sold 3. Paradox Rift, yeah, only sold 5. There's a little more at 12, but in general it's like 7, 6, 5 compared to like this over here, which is like 30. Even over here, this was like 10s. Like Paradox Rift was selling pretty well in like at least 10 boxes a day until like pretty recently. Um, Temporal Forces actually I think it mostly increased. Like compared to the last couple of days, it decreased. Uh, it's at 5 yesterday. Um, but this half of the month, it's definitely gone up. And yeah, that's because that's part of it going up in price. People gain more attention to this. That made more sense. Twilight Masquerade, last couple of days, 787. So we're leading up to release day. Stellar Crown has been pretty bad. 3, 4, 10. Well, 10's pretty good, but 3, 6. Like a lot of these are like less than like 5 or less. Toward at the beginning of the month, it was closer to like 7 to 13. And then Surging Sparks, I don't really have much to say about that for decreases. Maybe it doesn't apply to it as much. If I look at the 3 month graph, it's actually gone up in the last a couple of days compared to normal. Um, I'll go over the Sword and Shield stack, but as far as like price increases and decreases, which are probably more interesting. Scarlet Violet base, I think there's only a couple of boxes at this 185 mark. There's 3 boxes over here, and it goes back to 189 or 190. So it's pretty much the same price. If this continues, then sure, like that's pretty low demand. Um, but we'll kind of see about that. Paldea, I said that demand's been kind of even. The price stayed the same. Um, but I do see there's only one box listed here at 225, and it goes to 228. But it hasn't officially passed 228 in like quite a while. So, um, like I could say, like I keep saying, sometimes these boxes are close. Although like some of the sales data, you do see boxes being sold for 228, 245, 230, 235. Um, and a lot of sales provide were more like the 225 or 215s. It kind of varies over here. There's a little bit of a spike in price. But yeah, people are buying for higher prices. It is happening where people will just skip boxes or boxes will just appear sporadically. But I see some lower price boxes for days while there are still other sales at higher prices. City in Flames, we recovered back to about 210. Um, Yesterday it went down to 205 for a while, for the first time in a while. I think there's only like a couple of boxes or one box at that price. But yeah, I'm still interested in this 210 price. There's technically 8 boxes until it goes to 215. Um, but I've seen it happen over again where it's just hard to break that price points. Um, You look at Stellar Crown already got to like 214, 215. Now it's recovering to 210. Paradox. Yeah, Paradox. Yeah, I said the man's been going down. It's back to about 190, but there's only one seller selling at that price. There's 10 boxes. Someone's offloading a bunch of Paradox. Otherwise, it goes back to about 196. So it's not really too bad for Paradox. So what I'm seeing is that buying activity is decreasing, but but there's actually kind of more buying activities right now. Some of the prices are going up, but there's still some sales available. And Temporal went up about $2, so it kind of recovered back to here. It's gonna be most interesting once it crosses 200, but at least it's not like it seems more stable than Paradox, and I think that's because there's probably people just have less of it. Um, and 200 still at the bottom, so I'm not really gonna overcount that. The buying rate is just like too low to really break through the resistance to 200. It seems like Temporal might break 200 before Paradox does, and then Twilight's still kind of stuck at the 210 mark. The price went up like $3. But yeah, the I always see like the listings on the bottom are always around like 215, and I see there's like 11 boxes here and 5 boxes here. So demand is not high enough to cross that. It's only selling like 7 to 8 the last couple of days. Stellar Crown. I can't wait for this bar to go away so I can see the bars more normally. But yeah, demand's been really pretty bad for Stellar Crown. It's not terrible, but there's definitely it was more like I said before, like closer to 5 to 10 or 513. Recently, it's been more like in the low single digits, like less five for less a lot of days, and in the middle of the month, it was like sometimes closer to 10. Um, but yeah, it's I still see us kind of stuck at its it'll go up to like 210, 212, 214, but it doesn't really go beyond that. And Surging Sparks, no, I don't really cover that as much. It's just so stable, but demand did pick up the last couple of days, and it's back to about 260. I will note about since Giant Terror is coming out, like the reason why Stellar and Obsidian are as expensive as they are because partly because they're smaller sets and people like they're kind of more of a collector's item. People like opening them. Same thing's gonna happen during Together. I've heard where it's a smaller set, so the hits are easier to guess. So you can get the card that you want, which is kind of the point of opening Pokemon cards in the first place. Otherwise, you just buy singles. Other sets are either more for the chase or I don't know, like Paldea and Twilight are definitely more for the chase, and Surgium is more for the chase. But they are bigger sets. And then yeah, SE based Paradox Temporal are a little bigger, but they're not really as like the prices are lower to kind of reflect that in a sense. People don't I don't know. People don't as like open as far as like the numbers are showing. I don't know. People don't like open as much. There's too much of them or something. But yeah, Obsidian and Stellar are definitely more like I feel like they're collector items and more enjoyable items. I think that's why they've done pretty well. They also have like 151 cards, as in like there's Charizard, Obsidian, and there's Squirtle and Bulbasaur in Stellar. All right, so Sword and Shield, there has been some changes in demand by activity for Sword and Shield as well. Um, so Sword and Shield base, not really, but you'll notice like yeah, there's less buying activity. It kind of goes with the original trend of the video. There hasn't been any sales since March 11th. Yeah, just wow, I just had like yeah. Also, I remember mid February was also a pretty slow period. Yeah, just like a huge gap over here. Rebel Clash, someone bought a box. They bought it for about 325. There's only 12 left on the market. There's less Rebel Clash than there is Sword and Shield base. I didn't really notice that. But yeah, someone bought a higher price than this Express TCG. Um, I'm so curious what'll happen when people like start buying these up because the price differences are really quite extreme. I haven't really checked the eBay prices though. Darkness Ablaze, yeah, there's been less buying activity as well. Um, see no recent sales. It's still kind of stuck like at these three boxes from Montana Realty. The voltage went down to about 190 because course EGG is back. Maybe I have to cover them. I've been looking for another seller to cover because yeah, some of those videos seem to like I'm actually interested too. I want to know who the big players are. Um, and but that goes back to about about 200 over here, so it's nothing too worrisome for mid voltage, although like there was a break in, like it was consistent and there was no boxes bought yesterday. But yeah, of course TCG has listed some sales, so it's a little bit lower price than normal. Battle styles went up, so yeah, Vivid dropped about $10 because of that sale. Battle styles went up about $6. um yeah, there was more buying activity. You see like the bars kind of go down. There's more buy activity before battle styles, but it's still kind of increasing back now. Um, yeah, so it'll be the day when battle styles crosses $200 will be a day like everyone's always like talked really badly about battle styles, but at some point they have to respect it's a booster box and people like opening booster boxes and it's rare just for being a booster box. Chilling Rain, no sales in the last couple of days after being pretty consistent. Um, I feel like I'm seeing more boxes listed here than I did like before, until like 350 or 360. So yeah, with the low selling rate, it's not really gonna move. Evolving Skies though, I have to. I'm not sure if like I'm just not remembering this properly, but like Evolving Skies, so the price is nothing amazing. It's at 1310, but I don't really remember it going to like 1400 on this page. So I'm like, are there like less boxes? And even like these three listings, like I'm not even filtering the listings because sometimes I'll filter it just to get a better view of like the booster boxes. But these three aren't even booster boxes. So there's only like one, two, three, um, four boxes until it goes to 1365, and then two more boxes after that until 1400. I feel like it's just like a little less. Um, Maybe like these, I wasn't really paying attention enough, but maybe these lower price sales are actually starting to make a dent. I want to keep looking out for that, but I don't remember like being able to see like the higher price listings on the same page. I definitely do see like a lot of just single box listings. Like it's not like another, like I don't see someone offloading like a case of Evolving Skies at a lower price. Um, that happens more for the lower price booster boxes. Fusion Strike, no sales yesterday. Um, it's been kind of consistent about one before that. Um, I can see a Fusion Strike. Yeah, there's gonna be more of these filter listings that have nothing to do with it, like sleeved and like international versions. Um, but it's been kind of still stuck at this 473 price. Brilliant Stars and Astral Radiance had some sales after a while, so Brilliant Stars took a break. Now it's back to 300. Um, I've been just waiting for it to break 300, but I don't want to hold my breath because I've done that before. But yeah, three were bought yesterday, so not bad. Um, and Astral Radiance had this big break over here, even when it was doing so well. It sold two. Now it's back at it's still 275. After that, it goes to 278, which I think it's like a new high. Um, they only let's see, 72 boxes of Astral, 75 of Brilliant. They're doing about the same in that sense. Lost Origin been consistent with sales, but yesterday, the day before, we're a little lower at one. I'm not really holding my breath for Lost Origin. And Silver Tempest took a break, but still it's going back to its consistent sales at like there's three yesterday, three today. The price actually went down.